For we only know that there's gonna
That's
be
gonna
a
be a
show
show.
and the Glasgow Celtic will be there. Yes, we're back
Woo!
for a Celtic Unrestricted View. Good evening. My name's JP. If you didn't know, you know now. Joining me this evening is our good man, Mr. Alan Stirling. How are we, big man? I hope you're well and you're looking very fresh for the last time I saw you, mate. Bearing in mind, I did see one or two of your holiday photos, mate. Woof, as Archie McPherson would say. But I hope you're well, buddy. Good to see you.
Aye, fantastic. Hope you're well. Yourself, JP. Good refreshing holiday. Aye, there was a few nights that were a bit exciting, shall we say. But
A few.
I feel refreshed. A couple of games since I was over there. The first one bad result, and then the second one fantastic result at the other side of Glasgow. So that made everything a bit happier, shall we say? That was a bit of a wild night, but aye, glad to be back. Not really, but aye, have to come back. But nice and relaxing and going with the night.
And as we all know, mate, most people go to Tenerife and get themselves a tan. You go to Tenerife and get yourself a new nickname, mate. And just on that tonight, Big Bev's joining us on the YouTube. He says, "Good evening, boys and girls. Hope you're all well. Hope you're better, Ironside." And for anybody that they'll just leave people guessing what that means, mate.
Aye,
But it's good to see Bev's in good
that,
spirits tonight.
this could
I wasn't actually going to mention it, but
you
now
know,
that he brings it up, aye, I
that
hope you're
that
hope you're
nick, you know, that nickname could come up with a lot of kind of bad connotations. By the way, let's see the guesses. 'Cause if somebody has to see that telly program, then
aye. And by the way, I'll tell you all right now, it's nothing to do with his hat. But before we go any further, mate, as I normally do, I'll do the good evenings for people. First up tonight, we've got Ann Jem on the YouTube, and Ann Jem says, "Evening, folks. The pod was missed on Friday. Nice to see you back." Yes, for all of you that maybe didn't know, Ann James just let the cat out of the bag here for us. The pod never happened on Friday due to myself and Alan not at full health. And as you can see, we're fighting. We're actually fighting fit. So
aye,
we're doing it. We're doing our best to be here tonight. So, but no, I'm feeling a wee bit better. Certainly no any like loads better than what I was. But that's nice to hear, Alan, because sometimes it's nice to hear, mate, that you are wanted from people, and
appreciate it, and
it just goes to show that we are appreciated somewhere. Don't tell that to. It's always these comments always seem to happen when Andy Gray's not on me, mate. I don't know why. Usually when he's on, mate, we don't get comments like this. Next comment up is by a YouTube name of Mince Medallion. What a name that is, by the way. Knows some more, but what a profile picture that is as well. Good evening, Trips. Been looking forward to this all day. To be fair with you, Mince Medallion, I've not been on the same wavelength as you there. Because to be fair, man, I could see this far enough today with the start of the morning I had this morning. Uh, but we're here now, and I've made it. Plunge is joining us also, and he says, "Evening, Ann Jem, and evening, boys. Welcome back. Hope everybody is well. Well, we're as well as we can be at this moment in time, Plunge. That's all I can say." Kevin Ferrier's joined us as well, Alan. He says, "Hail, hail, guys. Glad we're back on."
well,
We're getting a bit of love tonight, boy, lads, aren't we?
must have missed it.
Certainly. Absolutely. Maybe we need to start taking nights off more often now. But as we can see, Mr.
It's,
Andy Gray's not with us. He likes to take nights off just
it's, it's
whenever he feels it.
absence makes the heart grow fonder, innit?
So they say, mate.
Ah,
Aye, so they say.
so
I wouldn't know. I don't know. Leo Porter's joining us also. He says, "All right, guys." And Leo's just about to go live on his TikTok. Um, so best of luck with that, Leo. Good evening, mate. I hope you've had a good weekend, and I hope everybody else that's joining us has had a really good weekend as well. I know there's probably not much to shout about just now, Alan, with no Celtic. But on the plus side, our national team is doing very well at the moment, mate. So we've got that kind of to shout about, and no more so than Mr. Callum McGregor. I thought he performed really, really well in Cyprus the other night for Scotland, mate. And
Aye.
obviously, what we're going to go to, because it is, folks, the Monday Huddle. And we're going to have a wee chat about Celtic's international boys. Obviously, we've been told about an injury that's LIEL Abada has now picked up. And I put up injury scare, but it has been confirmed that Abada will miss about 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of action. And the question is, Alan, for Saturday, mate, will Rio Hatate, along with their new signings, return to the team? But we'll get to all that. We'll break that down. Start with the Celtic's international boys. And I don't know about you, mate, but I'm going to start with the far afield and the Japanese boys. I'm really, really happy that they are going to be fresh as a daisy because Daisen Maeda and Kyogo played no part of the 4-1 against Germany the other night, mate. So that just shows you how good a team Japan have got, mate. You can leave guys of that talent out their squad.
Aye. And their team's obviously good enough to get the Germany manager sacked as well, so Hans Flick.
Mm-hmm. By the way, that's the
I,
first time in Germany's history they've ever sacked a manager since 1926.
I, so, and that's the second game that Japan's played them that they've beat them. So it's no mean feat at all. But aye, a 4-1 victory against Germany is a massive result for kind of a nation like Japan.
For everybody
But
wondering with this comment, there is a reason why he's no here tonight, and that's part of the issue there. His patter is honestly, it's Monday night shocking. The less says about that, the better. I'm only kidding. I hope you're well, Ryan. Hope you had a
aye,
good weekend, mate. And stick down the penguin and apples, mate, and leave your jokes to me, mate. Honestly, because that's got hands on her at that one, mate, and I would toss that in a bin, mate, to be fair with you. But sorry, Alan.
aye, flick it, Lupin.
Flick that right in the bin, aye.
No, it's obviously an advantage that both your international players with Japan have played because, as we were mentioning earlier, look at Abada's been injured because he's had the game time. So, on behalf of the club, we're just looking for our international players to come back kind of fit and healthy, ready to rock roll for us. So, that is an advantage that they've not been playing. Let's see, it's an advantage that they've not got any minutes for Japan because they're coming back kind of fit and healthy.
Yep.
But being in that group,
they play tomorrow as well, mate. They play Turkey tomorrow at 1.
So they might get some game time there. So here's hoping that they kind of come through that if they play and get back kind of fighting fit for us for the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And obviously, as you've just said, they're fighting fit, but the fact that both of them have not played, I know they'll obviously still be training and camp and stuff with the squad, but not playing the games and having that, I mean, like we've said on here before, mate, the distance that both of those players must cover in an actual game is probably, the running stats are probably always in the red because of the amount of, the amount of pressing that they do and closing down goalkeepers, closing down defenders, not giving people time on the ball. They play that high pressing game that a lot of teams, unless you're really, really astute about it and you've got the manpower to do it, a lot of teams are not going to be able to play out for the back when you've got those two in an attacking line. So for them not to have played against Germany the other night, to have that rest, is only going to be beneficial for us, Alan.
Aye, and as you say, it's their style of play, how their acceleration, both Kyogo and Maida. It's always kind of you're scared that could cause maybe a hamstring injury or some sort of other sort of injury.
Yep.
So their style of play makes them kind of more focused that you think that they are possibly could get injured because of how much effort they're putting in, because of how fast they're running. Any impact could cause a significant injury to them. So, as I say, you'd love for every one of your players that are going international duty just to be wrapped up in cotton wool, because as much as we like international football, at the end of the day, we're bread and butters Celtic.
Yes.
So we're just wanting the best team that we can put on the park, and with the likes of kind of Abada and fingers crossed nobody else, we're just wanting all these players back so that we've got the best squad kind of possible that's available to select. So
Yeah.
here's hoping tomorrow there's no more kind of bad news. Abada's bad enough, but here's hoping we get through tomorrow and get back to the weekend with the kind of the biggest selection we can have possible.
I'll come to the Korean lads in a minute. A wee message here from the YouTube, and Tony Coletta has joined us on the YouTube. He says, "Hail, hail, guys! I've just joined. Welcome, Tony. Welcome to the channel, mate. And I hope you do the right thing and you hit that subscribe button, Tony boy. Um, good to hear from you, and thank you very much for commenting. And we are on 3 times a week, of Mondays 8:30, Wednesdays 8:30, and Friday 8:30, mate. Obviously, we're not saying that you have to tune into all 3, but the option is definitely there for you, mate. So just to let you know if that's you just joined us. So thank you again for your comment, mate, and thanks again for tuning in also. Yes, Alan. So I've come to obviously the Korean boys. Now we Yang made his senior debut for South Korea in their game. This is terrible. Who were they? I seen that yesterday. I know who were they playing. They played the other day.
You're ahead of me.
He made his senior debut. He came off the bench, but he made his debut. Whereas O didn't didn't play at all. He never played any minutes. But Yang made his debut, and I'm sure it was a European team they played against, and I just can't remember who it was. That's terrible. As much as I don't know the team they played against, I do have the knowledge that Yang made his senior debut. And again, mate, that's only going to benefit the young man himself because he is slowly now starting to find his feet in the hoops. I do think it's only going to be a matter of time, mate, before we see. Thank you. It was Wales. I knew it was a European team. They are a British team, obviously, but they are in the European sort of union continent of that football way. So I knew it was a team that was local to us in terms of Europe and not that far afield. But yeah, I think he only got about 10 minutes if I'm but to be fair, getting 10 minutes in a senior team of the South Korean team, which is an up and coming South Korean team, full in bags of talent, Alan. Obviously operating under a manager, Jurgen Klinsmann, a man of great experience in the game. Everybody knows Jurgen Klinsmann that knows football, mate. He's a worldwide name. What he achieved as a player in the game, and what he's even done as a manager. I think he did quite well with the USA as well, in terms of qualification through campaigns, etc. So, so I think that's only going to benefit young Yang. 10 bonus points for you, mate, if you can give me his full name.
No. I'm not even going to try and attempt that. That'll get clipped and Twitter,
His
man.
name is Yang Hung Yu.
Aye, I'll leave that to you.
No, that's why I'm here, mate. That's exactly why I'm
Aye.
here. But no, as I say, mate, I think even getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be, mate, you've got to build somewhere, and it's all about now building for Yang. I would imagine so, club level and international level.
Aye. No, first of all, I think his international manager's probably best known for his celebration.
Aye.
Aye, no, he's done relatively well in management with kind of USA were up and coming with kind of in footballing terms because to be honest, it was there a big sport over there, but it's starting to grow and grow.
Yeah.
But even if it's 5-10 minutes, your South Korea squad is pretty decent. It's kind of littered with kind of European players, kind of Bundesliga and Premier League players. So it's going to be quite difficult to cement a place in there. But every time kind of Yang's played for us, he's no had a great deal of time for us, but he's always relatively impressed myself. He's always come on, he's looked, put in the effort, he's had a bit of creativity, and
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, it looks as if his kind of confidence is growing and growing. So if that keeps progressing, and that's only going to do well that he's had his debut for the international team,
Yeah.
because that is going to boost his confidence even more. So that's only going to be beneficial to Celtic as well, that we've got a player that's kind of boosted in confidence and can come back and do a job with us, get some
Yeah.
time, game time with the Champions League, and hopefully that brings him on another level. So it's all kind of good news for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I think what people don't take into consideration is when these lads go away and do these camps, that they're going away and they're training with quality players. So when you've got that round about you, mate, on a day-to-day basis, when you're away for maybe a fortnight with your international mates, or sometimes it might even be 3 games you're away for, and it's an extended international break, you're doing it every day. So you're training with these guys every day. You're getting insights. Maybe, I mean, guys like Son, who's became a very, very focal point of Ange Postecoglou's Spurs team now. And obviously, Ange has made him the captain. So you've got him right away there look to look up to. And then you've got other guys who are playing in, the Bundesliga, uh, Sim Yuk Q, and you've got one or two others that are just genuine, real talented, quality players. And I think that's why Celtic have played a blinder with these markets, Alan, because there's a comment here for Joseph Agnew, and that's what he's more or less alluding to, that Celtic are now going and getting players who are always going to be fit. Because you very seldom do you see the Asian-based type players going and being injured, but when they are injured, they're very seldom injured for a long period of time because they're quick healers, because of the wee remedies that they do when they're, even if they're unwell, there's things that these guys have got rituals that they follow, that they go through every day. The way they train, the way they look after themselves, the way they eat, the way they're probably their sleeping pattern. It's night and day, Alan, to your European type players or your Scottish based players. So that's why these guys can do what they do for long periods of time and do what they do for like in games. Like, that's how Maeda can run the way he does, and that's why Kyogo's got the engine in him that he's got. Yang looks as if he's going to be the exact same in terms of his running power. Even at Ibrox, mate, he came on and I don't know how many plates of chips and gravy he sent Yilmaz for that day, but he sent him for quite a few, albeit he slipped himself and fell before the end product appeared. But when he didn't have the ball, what I noticed about him when he came on over there was his work rate off the ball. And see when you're playing against that, Alan, when you've got like 3 or 4 guys like your Maedas, your Kyogos, Yang, even Bago, his work rate's unbelievable. When you've got 3 or 4 guys playing against you that just don't stop. Barry Bannon nicknames, he's nicknamed Maeda the Duracell Bunny because he just doesn't stop. See, when somebody like that is playing against you, it's so difficult, mate, to remain concentrated and remain in the moment because you're always looking for him. You're going like that every time you get the ball. Oh man, it's lucky if I'm going to get 2 touches here, and then I'm going to need to. So it makes you think faster. It makes you think quicker. And players, I'm probably going to you know, I'm probably going to say, I'm not meaning this to be harsh, but it's just the sheer reality of what it is. Players who don't actually have a decent natural footballing ability being closed down at that pace and being forced into playing the ball that bit quicker, you don't see a lot of good product coming from it. You see things like the OG you've seen against PSV Eindhoven. Guys who are put under pressure, who cannot normally cope when they've got like 4 or 5 touches of the ball, and still their decision making is absolutely terrible. But when they're put under that pressure with that work rate and that running power up against them, it's very, very difficult, mate, to play against that. And that's why you see the results you see. That's why you see these guys becoming big assets for Celtic. Kyogo's not just an asset for Celtic because because he runs. You've got to watch him off the ball. It's his reading of the game and his actual ability to score goals. Because, like I've said, mate, I've said it on here, it might be a big shout, but he's now starting to prove me because he's now doing it in the big games regularly. And that's the mark of a man. That's the mark of the man that that you can put him into that mould of Larsson. The time will tell. Obviously, we're coming up to the Champions League now. That's probably why you've seen a wee change in my wallpaper as well, because we're all looking forward to the Champions League. Champions League's not for everybody, mate. Not everybody get there. It's unfortunate for teams, but like I says, mate, cream always rises when it needs to. And that's why we're the cream of the crop here in Scotland, mate, because we always come, when it comes to the big occasions, Alan, our players always rise to the challenge, mate. And that, for me, mate, is a big difference.
Aye, what you're saying about the kind of Korean, the Asian guys that were signed, like a few years back, there was very, very few of them getting picked up in the European League. So, and they might be as good as a lot of the kind of leagues, the players in the leagues that we've got, but because of the reputation of the leagues, there was only a select few getting picked. So most of these guys are then realising how difficult a task it is to be picked up in Europe. So they're making sure that they're kind of at the peak of their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
They are making sure that they're as technically good as they can, as fit as they can, eat healthy, be the best that they can within their own body.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you're seeing the kind of energy and the fitness that these guys that we're bringing in have got, because they're making sure that they want to get to Europe, so they're doing everything possible to make sure that they're picked up by European sides. So we're only going to see the benefit of that.
Yep.
And we will let Kyogo's let us down a great deal. He's been fantastic throughout the time he's been here, but I think kind of the next few months is going to be the test whether he is up to that next level that you're speaking about. What next Tuesday, that's the kind of first test, whether he can kind of provide at that level. Uh, excuse me. I think his movement, no matter who we play, his movement will always be there. So let's hope that we can translate that to the next. Something stuck in my throat. Excuse me.
Yeah, a drink, mate. You need a drink.
Oh, Pat.
You alright?
Oh my, aye, died here. I think he can bring that on to the next level, and obviously the Champions League is that next level. Oh,
Kevin Ferrier says that's that Tenerife COVID for you, mate.
oh, something stuck in my throat, man.
That's alright, mate. You want me to take
Aye,
over? Or you...
aye, give me a wee second.
No, I know. I kind of get the gist of what you're trying to say. In terms of the way the Asian players are, and I think a lot of Celtic fans are of the same the same opinion in terms of Kyogo. I think that, they're seeing this Champions League as a big platform now for him to go and announce himself. Um, I don't look at it that way because he's already scored goals in Europe for us. No last season, the season before in the Europa League, he was able to score for us. I don't have any hesitation putting him in again because um, I think he's already established in the Celtic team. He's already established himself to us anyway. So I don't think he needs to, um, he doesn't need to put himself out there in terms of any more than what he already is. I think the wee man, what will benefit him, by the way, and it just shows you how good Kyogo is, folks. When he's took the breath away for Big Allen tonight, you know what I mean? He's obviously he's that good. Big Allen's went into a coughing fit here, thinking about how good he is, and but um, that's that. By the way, that's a Celtic fan. It's get the breath took away from him. Can you imagine what it was like here at a big goose last week? Yeah, he must have took a few people's breath away with that finish. And that's what Kyogo's got in his locker. It doesn't matter what team he's playing against. No goalkeeper was saving that shot. That's how good he is. Now, you touched on about the Asian market and stuff like that. Over the last 15, 20 years, you can probably pick on your one hand guys that have came for that market. And I would say more Japanese than it is Korean. We had Nakamura, very top talent, right? You had guys, all in Italy and other places abroad. Guys like Shinsuke Ono. We had Kensuke Honda. We had Nagatomo for Inter Milan. We had
Nakata, Roma,
Nakata. Yeah, Roma. Nakata, absolutely unbelievable.
Park,
Park
Dortmund,
Ji
and Man
Sung,
U.
yeah, brilliant player. Yeah, the boy, is it Kagwa?
Kagawa,
Kagawa
Man.
played for Dortmund as well.
Aye.
The other big boy, the striker. What was his name again? Was it
Oh,
Tagashimo?
aye.
The other big
You don't play
striker
with
remember
Torino?
he played for he
Is it not
played
that one?
for who was it? Same mob as Batistuta,
Fiorentina?
Fiorentina. He played with him. Aye. So that's what I'm saying. You've 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 had guys like that through the years. Uh, Unamoto as well. It used to play for Arsenal as well. Remember Inamoto.
Aye.
So you've had guys like that through the years coming through, and but the way they came through, you're right, because it was all kind of staggered. I mean, the one I remember growing up was Shinsuke Ono. The guy, he was a bit like Maeda, baldy. He played the middle of the park. He was class. He reminded me, remember the boy that used to play for Villarreal, Marcus Senna?
Who was the man with the blonde that bleached his seed or no?
That was Honda.
Honda.
That was the boy Honda. The boy Kawasaki as well, as Kevin Ferrier's just said. Aye, he was another one. So there's been loads of talent come out of the Asian market, but it's
Like
becoming more. It's
Mizuno and
becoming
Ding.
Mizuno and people like that never turned out. But Mizuno was very successful over in Japan.
Aye.
Koki Mizuno just didn't work out for Celtic. That was just another, it was another stab at the dart for Stratton that just didn't work out. The boy was too lightweight, but then you look at Chadu Ri and Ki Sung Young. But
Aye.
Key worked out really, really well. I would say Key worked out
That's a
more than
good call.
Chad did. Key was excellent. So they markets have been successful for Celtic before. So when Big Ange came and made it a norm for us to go and shop in the markets again, and to be fair, mate, it's been really, really successful. Out with, I would say, probably out with um, Gucci.
Kobayashi and all.
Maybe Kobayashi, aye, but again, the big might turn. That could just go bang and he announces himself. Nobody thought Liam Scales was going to get on the Celtic team, mate, and it's just because of injury, and he's done very, very well. So, is Liam Scales going to keep his place? I think he deserves to. I don't think he will, but I think he deserves to in terms of his level of performance. Obviously, Lager Bielka has been picked to go away with Sweden. He never played for them the other day. Who knows if he'll play in the second game? But again, mate, I really do think international. A lot of people say they hate international football, and I think international football helps to develop a level of mentality, and especially younger guys who are aspiring to be senior pros at their position. I think it really helps them, and it helps them along the way to play with guys. Like say, just say for talk's sake, Stephen Mills comes back for his injury, and somewhere in this universe the stars all align, and he gets his sell into the Celtic team regularly, and then he gets in the Scotland team. Ryan's probably sitting here nearly swallowing his Adam's apple now hearing me saying that, but this is for talking sake, this is just an example of what I mean. But him going away with the Scotland squad, playing with guys like McGregor, Andy Robertson, Kieran Tierney, Ryan Porteous, guys who are doing well for Scotland at the moment. These guys are going and doing well at that level. People are saying Jack Kendry, he wasn't good for Celtic. He's good now. Doesn't matter if he's good for, and he's been tested. He played against Spain, done very well. Played against Erling Haaland away in Norway. We beat him 2-1. He's been tested. These guys are they're in an international stage now. These guys are going and being tested. And Scotland's ranking is only gone like that because of how well they're doing at the moment. There's even talks of Scotland getting. I seen it today. I thought I was seeing things when I seen we might even be in pot one because of the way the seeds are working out if we get to the Euros. If we win this group, that's frightening, Alan. I mean, we're sitting in a group now, mate. We've played 5 and won 5, including beating Spain and beating Norway. These were teams, mate, no long ago, maybe even 2 or 3 years ago, were used to beat us regularly and very comfortably. We're now getting into a game tomorrow night against England, and every one of us are now going, I fancy this. I think we'll get a result here. This is where we are now. This is where Scotland have now came. This is how I've always said, mate, football can change very, very quickly. And the way you think about things, your mentality, the way you look upon things, it can change very, very quickly. Why? Because of results. Because when you watch a team and then they get you belief. Now, I stand back to the game at Ibrox. Them going there with no fans and winning the way they did, schooling them, passing the ball about and playing in tight areas, playing out for the back, like Man City. You look at Yang and Ralston passing the ball between one another for a couple of passes and then the ball goes into midfield. Celtic going to be playing like that, mate, up against a team. Now, regardless of whether they were at their game or they weren't at their game or whatever, going to that cauldron and that noise and that, that arena and doing that, it's only going to bode these guys well moving forward now, mate. And this, by the way, prior to that, Alan, this was a Celtic team, mate, that was in crisis. This was a Celtic team that was, the season was imploding and everything was all falling apart and the walls were falling in and run about them. All because they drew with St Johnstone the week before at Parkhead and they get knocked out with Kilmarnock the week before that. It just shows you, mate, what I'm like. not just the media, but what a mentality shift. Now that last Sunday, their fans are talking about wanting him sacked.
Aye, they are.
This was a guy 2 weeks ago was the Messiah. It's Looney Tunes, man.
Aye. No, I think you make a good point about the national side because do you look at most other national sides, they've all got that kind of superstar player, a few of them, but you've not really got that in Scotland. There's a kind of togetherness, but tactically well set, and it's all a bunch of decent players that are playing well together. Now, I think we can learn from that going into the Champions League because Scotland are kind of underdogs in most of the games. That's 11 qualifiers in a row that Scotland's won. And they've been underdogs for the majority of them. And they've came and they've got the result. And it's not because of any specific special player. It's because of the teams worked well together. And that's got to kind of give us confidence that the underdog can put together a team performance instead of an individual performance. Because if we play well as a team, then I don't think any of the teams that we've drawn against in the Champions League, there's nothing that we should be kind of petrified in there. It's not the easiest group, but out of all of them, I'd say I wouldn't be scared going against any of them. I'd want to
But
get and
they're
have a proper
they're not
go.
all champions either. Every
Aye.
one of them are the champions. It's only us in Feyenoord.
So you'd want to get and have a proper go at them, and you think that we kind of be able to stand up well against them. It might not work out well in the end up, but I'd want to get in and make sure that we can hold our head up high and make sure that we kind of have a go. And I'm quietly confident that we can do reasonably well in that group.
There's no reason why we can't, mate, because, again, like you've said, it's not a group of death. I wouldn't say that's a group of death. I would say that's... See, if you're looking at a draw, you're hand-picking Feyenoord out of pot one every day of the week, twice a Sunday. If we could go back and do that draw again, the majority of Celtic fans, guys watching here, maybe guys far afield as well, every one of us are all looking at that draw going, he's aiming out of pot one, Feyenoord. And then
Aye.
out of pot three, Lazio's got to be one of your picks. Lazio or I don't know. What was it? I'm trying to think of the teams that were in pot three.
Aye, you could have got Newcastle's draw with AC Milan.
Well, there you go.
That group
AC
F.
Milan.
I was sitting next to two Newcastle fans. I'm like, you want to avoid Group F, and then it came out right away, Group F for Newcastle, and then it showed up. It was who was it? It was Dortmund, Milan, and PSG, wasn't it?
PSG. Aye.
No, that's a group of death. That's one.
Yeah.
Aye.
But again,
So
Newcastle were in pot four because they've not really
aye,
got a big European history in terms of the last time they got to Europe was under Kevin Keegan, which was
aye,
many moons ago. So it just shows you how far along they've came under a manager in Eddie Howe.
aye.
But I think you're right. I think the draw is more favourable for us. I think especially at Celtic Park we could be looking to get, in my opinion, I know people are going to think I'm crazy, and that's probably a big shout. I know it's probably going to, people are going to be like, wow, JP. But at Parkhead, we should be looking to win in 3 games. That's got to be the aim. Now, I know the first game's obviously away to Holland. I know they're a good side, right? Because you've got to take into consideration their manager must have them playing well. And the reason I say that is because Tottenham, before they got Big Ange, tried to get him. They wanted Arne Slot, and he knocked him back before Big Ange took the job. So Big Ange wasn't their first choice either. That must have happened pretty quickly. I would imagine that, or maybe it was, maybe the boy Slot was just a smokescreen in terms of the media going through the process of making up what to make up all the time, which is nonsense. To suit their own agendas. But I do think that the it was certainly on Sky that they were after that Arne Slot. So I'm not naive enough, mate, and I know football quite well. I'm not naive enough to think that he's not been sought after for a reason. They must be doing quite well. And they won the Dutch League last season with a PSV Eindhoven team and an Ajax team in the same league. So that isn't an easy thing to do either. Because when you look at Feyenoord, mate, they don't win the league that often. They don't win it like every season or every couple of seasons. It's normally every 3 to 5 seasons they'll win the league if they have a good season. Because your usual shouts there, you've got PSVs, your Ajaxes, even AZ Alkmaars are all kind of in the mix for that league. And for them to win that league last season, they must have done pretty well. So I'm not naive enough to say that they're going to be by any means lightweights in that group, because they're no. But I look through their roster and I'm going, they're all young boys. Every one of them are all young. They're all young boys. The average age of the team is 21.
I see their strikers injured as well, their main striker, I'm sure I seen the day.
I think they've got a few strikers injured. And I'm sure one of them's away with the Japan squad. I know the big lad Aida.
I think it's
Ueda.
him that got an injury,
Ayese Ueda.
aye.
Um, there's Kevin's just wrote that their goalkeeper broke his wrist and a Japanese striker is injured. They have got a couple of strikers injured, and probably what's lightened the load for them pretty much is they managed to sell on the weak link of the team over at the big house, Boy Danilo, bought for £6 million. Can't even get a game. But it looks like him, he'd struggle to get a game of Kirby Wiggy. So I think the less said about him, the better. But again, he's not there for them anymore. They probably had a party the day they sold him for that amount of money. I would imagine parts of Holland was closed off for a couple of days, mate. Celebrations would have went full tilt, I'd imagine, when they get rid of him. And it's been made for good comedy for us, mate, because he's came here and he's gave us a good laugh so far.
Aye. We need to kind of give Feyenoord all due respect, as you say, but they are going to be a decent, well organised side. But it's a kind of well sought after coach, as you say about the kind of mentions we Tottenham and other kind of relatively top sides. But when you look at the Feyenoord squad, if we are serious about going through Europe after Christmas, not even the Champions League, if we are serious about getting that third spot, I think Celtic need to be aiming for 4 points over the 2 games against Feyenoord. Because personally, at the minute, when you look at the teams, I'd say that kind of Feyenoord are the third best team that we've got to play. I know they're top 1 team, but you're looking at Atletico Madrid and Lazio, and you think that they're going to be kind of stronger opposition. So if we've got kind of strong hopes about having Europe after Christmas, I'd be thinking that first game would be looking for a minimum of a draw over there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a massive ask if we are hoping to go that much forward in Europe. We should be looking for a minimum of a draw because they might be well organised, but we should be looking to get up to that standard as well. We've got players that work in our roster that I would think it could step up to that standard. So I'd be definitely looking for a minimum of a draw next Tuesday, to be fair.
Yeah, I think most Celtic fans will would bite your hand off for it. I've just got a wee message here from Livet. He says, "Have to go, everyone. Hail, hail. Good evening, mate. Have a good one. Have a good night. We will catch you again, mate. Cheers for your comments tonight." I do think most Celtic fans, mate, would bite your hands off right now. If you were to tell them that you were going to go away and pick up points the first game in the group, I think a lot of, even still it's final, but I think a lot of our fans are mostly saying that, well, there's Mince Medallion just said it before I get a chance to. Third place in the group will do for me. I think most Celtic fans would be thinking along the same. Um, and yeah, as I say, it's all about what we do, I think now. And as I said at the beginning, mate, the chat is tonight. Obviously, the Celtic injuries returning hopefully this weekend. First up, mate, Mr. Rio Hatate. Brendan did say that he would be available for selection after the international break. Well, the international break ends on Thursday for us, potentially, when the team re-adjourn together at Lennoxtown. And will we see Mr. Hatate available and fit for the squad against Dundee on Saturday?
I think a lot will you'll find out a lot with the kind of pictures they put out for Lennoxtown and maybe Thursday or Friday. Depends how he's come on, how he's trained on, if he is
Mm-hmm.
training at the minute. So if he's going to be available for selection on Saturday, you'd expect him to have a few days training kind of in his locker already. So as I say, a lot the pictures that come out later on in the week that'll kind of tell you if Hatate's ready or not. I would love to see him maybe even make a 15-20 minute appearance because that would kind of point towards that he'd be ready for Tuesday. Because in European games, I think he's pivotal. Uh, I you see some of the passing range he had last year in the Champions League games. I know we get defeated, but that kind of pass against Real Madrid, that's kind of played back a lot of the time. So I think he would be a massive gain if he was back fit for next Tuesday. So I would
Yeah,
like to see him get a wee bit of game time, and with a view of possibly starting for next Tuesday.
yeah, absolutely. I think he's a massive option for us, mate. I'm really glad that we kept a hold of him. The window closed, and we managed to retain his services for at least another 6 months if somebody's going to bid for him in January or not. I know there's talk of him potentially still signing a new contract. I'd like to see that happening. Um, I'd like to see him knuckle down and get Big Sutton says, a reinvigorated Rio Hatate. I don't think he's covered himself in glory in terms of his performances from the beginning of the season. A lot of people saying, he looks as if he's in a huff, and I think that's just nonsense. I really do. I think he's just had one of those starts to the season, mate, that, an
Uh,
injury happened at Pataudry, and I think he's now at a point where he's had to recover from that and go again. But I know there's a couple of people, Ryan included, who said maybe his head was turned in terms of maybe he wanted a move, and obviously the window has closed, and that's not going to happen. So the question is now, what kind of Rio Hatate are we going to see, mate?
he's only human. See if these kind of numbers are getting floated about in teams that are getting spoke about that are linked with him. Obviously, it's going to have effect on your mentality. I think we all see that 20 minutes that was on against Aberdeen, the way he completely changed the game. He turned the game on its head. That 20 minutes, you've seen the kind of tenacity and just that bit of guile he had in the middle of the park. I know we've got McGregor and Kyogo that are top players, but in my opinion, personally, I think Taty's the most technically gifted player we've got. The player with the most kind of ability and most potential. So keeping him for myself is massive. I think he's that kind of player that can change a game. And like we spoke about earlier with the kind of mentality and the physicality kind of Asian players that we've got that mentality of running people down. That Hatate's just that that kind of player as well that seems to be everywhere in the middle of the park. So he
Yeah,
seems to give you kind of a hell of a lot of options all over the midfield.
yeah. He's got
So
power. He's got that arranged power, hasn't he? Against Aberdeen, when you brought him on, instantaneously, mate, he was able to pick up those second balls
mm,
and then start drifting between the lines with the ball. Yeah, he's actually a ball carrier as well in terms of what he can do with the ball at his feet. I think a lot of Celtic fans were just unhappy with his performance levels. You know, maybe his lack of concentration. You look at the Balboa game, he gives the ball away for the first goal. Um, I think against Wolves, he done 2 or 3 passes. You were like, what are you doing, Real? As if, get your head in the game. I think some Celtic fans made more of maybe what it was, but the fact that then he's literally just on the park and he pulls up with that
mm.
calf injury, it just, even myself, mate, it just didn't show a clear indication of you know his his commitment to the immediate cause. Hopefully this spell out the team has maybe made him
Mm.
realise, look, I need to knuckle down here if I want, especially. And then obviously the beginning of the season, the domestic campaign, Brendan didn't play him. He was on the bench for 2 games. So a guy
Aye.
again of that talent, mate, I think you know it's a waste, mate, if you're just not going to be there in your own headspace with it.
Aye, as I say again, it's only human. Football's only human. If you've got spoke about in that kind of in lay terms, he has got to think about things, and that may have affected his performance kind of mentally. But he's got all the ability, as I've just mentioned there. I think he's got the best ability in the league, and we've
Hmm.
picked this guy up for 1.3 million. So I think he can for the kind of ability he's shown well the Celtic tap. I think for 1.3 million we can cut him a wee bit of slack. The guy's kind of performed massively throughout the last 18 months. Some of the performances he's put in, even his kind of second game against Rangers was the 2 goals. His first game was a goal at Hearts as well. So he has got that. But as you say as well, hopefully that time out and that injury and speaking to Brendan, that hopefully that can bring his mentality on a bit and that the transfer window's shut. So hopefully he can get seed to and get that kind of top player mentality back. The player that we did see for the last 18 months, hopefully he can turn up to the best of his ability again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is it, mate. Because that option is a scary option to have, even coming off your bench. A guy that's so talented and Rio Hatate. I do think he brings a lot of goodness and more positives than he does negatives to the side. And he is just genuinely quality, mate. There's no doubt about that. But obviously, we've got other guys who we haven't even saw yet in terms of Lewis Palma, Nat Phillips, Marco Tilio. He's probably the longest because, again, he's not kicked a ball for us yet. We don't even know how good he is. We've heard stories about him. We know he's supposed to be very good. Um, and Scott McDonald's linked him to Paddy Roberts, if not better. So if it's that kind of ilk of player that you are getting, I'm very excited to see that because we don't have that type of player at the moment. I don't think LIEL Abada's like that. He's got another side to his game in terms of the way he goes and gets goals. Um, but if Tillio is like Patrick Roberts, then he will be able to just eliminate people on the spot and take people out the game with his movement, his skill, and his just raw ability. Um, like I says there, Palma has another one that we're all very well excited to see. He was on the bench over at the Big Cows, but he never got on that day. I think that was mainly down to the fact that he's just in the door as well, and just the way that game went. And it was only a 1 goal. I do think if Celtic were a couple of goals up, I think we may have seen Lewis Palmer. And again, Brendan's substitutions may have been differently used in terms of the way his tactics were. I thought they were spot on that day. With subs, there has been some comments tonight in the last couple of minutes, mate, for Thiago Home to be given a run in the team as well. So we've not even looked at that option. And then obviously last but not least, we've even got Mince Medallion, who has now made a song for him. And the lad Bernardo, who came in late in the window, and he played for Portugal's under-21s, not yesterday, the day before. And Mince Medallions reckon that the song should go. There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Bernardo. If anybody knows those lyrics, they will know it refers back to an ABBA song. The song's called Fernando. So, what we thinking there, big man?
I don't know about the song, but that's probably the one.
Don't know about the
It's
song,
a
but you'll be
bit
singing
of
it on Saturday.
Aye, probably. A few beers then we'll sing it, mate.
Couple of amber nectars, man. You start singing it walking down that high street.
Aye, definitely. But that was the one. That's the guy I'm probably most looking forward to see, because if you look at kind of track record with Benfica youth with Jota, so if this guy is the way he looks in kind of YouTube videos as well, he looks proper decent. So this is the one I'm really looking forward to seeing is Bernardo. So I'm hoping he's in the team. But the way it's looking, I would think that Phillips probably gets in the team at the weekend. It's
Instead
who
of,
partners. That's the question, because I thought at the start that it would be Phillips and Lagerbielke, but gone on last week's performance, I would slightly, it might be a bit dodgy, but I'd slightly favour Scales ahead of Lagerbielke at present.
really, aye.
And Lagerbielke's still young, and he's only just second appearance, so
Yeah,
it could come
Kevin.
up.
Yeah,
It
Kevin, he
could,
is available, mate.
so Lagerbielke could come on leaps and bounds, but I just think Liam Scales looked slightly better last week, and I was one of the ones that was the keen on keeping Scales a bit, to be honest. So I'll kind of eat my words with regard to that. But if I'm being honest, and if I was picking the team, I'd be going with trying out Phillips if he's trained well, and I'd probably put Scales with him at the minute, because I think kind of Lagerbielke looks as if he's got kind of all the potential to be a really good defender with us, but he looked kind of slightly a rabbit in headlights at times. There's a few times when the ball went all the tap, so I don't know if it's an idea to maybe go slow and gradual with him, but we just need to see what the team is on Saturday. But it's not an ideal situation with the amount of kind of centre halves that we've got missing. It'll be
I
interesting
think,
to see.
see, it's amazing how everybody's takes different, right? Because I spoke to Ryan at length about this. I would say the first maybe 10 minutes at Ibrox, both of them, him and Scales, Lagerbielke and Scales, had a kind of raw, kind of really shaky start to the game in terms of the way they kept possession, and some of the passes weren't quite as crisp as what it could be. And then the more and more the game went on, as you sort of two of them just grew into the game naturally. And more so like Lagerbielke, I love the way he passes into the wee pockets, mate. I just love how he picks. He always finds McGregor, or he'll find O'Reilly, or he always finds that pass. But what I love about him, Alan, is see the minute he makes a mistake, he's tuned, mate, to getting the ball back and wanting the ball back as well. He's always shown for the ball. He doesn't go hiding. And to do that in that arena, to me, mate, doesn't give me any worry moving forward with a big lad. And I thought as the game went on, I thought he just grew naturally into the game. I know what you're saying about the boy at the tap, but to be fair, we knew that was going to happen because that's all you've got is a boy at the tap, realistically. But I love how they play the boy at the tap and they don't have a guy to run onto it.
Aye.
I've seen Milk turn quicker than their forward line.
Aye.
The boy Matondo is meant to be a winger, and he was standing on the halfway line for the majority of the game. They're trying to play with a diamond with a winger. I was looking at, I was watching the game. I'm going like that. Why are they? What are they doing here? They're trying to play with a diamond, and they've got Matondo playing in the left-hand side, just his cell outside the diamond, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
They
It
couldn't
just,
break us down, so I think they were trying
no,
everything they possibly could.
it just
So,
didn't look. It just
uh,
didn't look right. And then every
uh,
time, Matondo stepped to the maybe 7.5, maybe even stepping into the 10, Alistair Johnson was just like a brick wall every time. So obviously that
uh,
was well calculated as well. And
if, if we heard any news about Johnston, by the way, after Graff in that
it's
game,
fine. No, but Rogers
is
announced
he?
at the end. Rogers announced at the end of the game. He just said it's because of the lack of game time he's had
Aye,
in the build-up. So it's about building him up.
aye.
So no, I don't think there's any fears about Johnson or anything. I think he's ready to go.
No, I was too
Um,
busy dancing about it at that time. I didn't
well,
hear
that's
that
it.
one, sorry.
It's the same with Ralston. I thought he was excellent when he came on. I spoke to Barry Bannon last Monday night about this. It was just myself and Baz. It was on Monday night, and I says, "Look, you him and Yang playing 1-2s and playing like Man City, coming out for the back, frightening, absolutely frightening. Down near where you're getting all sorts of boos and heckled and to play out of that press because the manager's now asking you to play under pressure. That's what I like, and
Aye.
that says it's." No, I agree with Mince Medallions there. He says it scales his shirt to lose, definitely. I think he deserves a start on Saturday. Phillips surely won't go straight in. Mince, I will disagree with you in terms of Phillips, mate. I think part of his loan deal, mate, would have been he's coming here to play. He's a 26-year-old centre back, mate, coming for Liverpool with Champions League experience and playing at the top level and a Champions League winners medal and he's back tail as well, mate. I don't think there's going to be any issues in terms of Phillips when he's ready to go, mate. I think um, he will play. I don't think there'll be any hesitations for Brendan because obviously Brendan first and foremost used his contacts well at Liverpool and went and got the guy. So for the fact that he's Rodgers' signing and he's no what the Celtic fans would say, some of the boys that got brought in earlier in the window, we're still maybe under Angie's thought process, and he's definitely Rodgers' signing. Palmer's Rodgers' signing. These guys are you can tell the difference in the signings. The guys like Yang and Tillio and that, they were under Big Angie's thought process, and maybe their deals were down the line, man. To be fair with you, mate, that it was too late then for Rodgers to. Rodgers has obviously went and done his due diligence on these boys, and he's no silly enough, not he? And he's thought to himself, you know what, I'll go with these guys and see what I can do because they look exciting, they look good. But like say boys like Nat Phillips, Lewis Palmer, the boy Bernardo, these are all Rodgers signing. The boy Holmes are Rodgers signing as well. That was done very, very quickly. That wasn't something that we had scouted for quite a long time. Um, the boy Holmes was done very quickly. The reason I know that is because Rodgers tried to sign him last January for Leicester. I don't know if you were aware of that, Alan. He tried to take him. He tried to take him to Leicester when he got an injury to that Dewsbury Hall. Sounds like an afternoon tea. You go for your missus to Dewsbury Hall. Decent player, the boy. But Rodgers tried to go and get Thiago home, so he was a Rodgers signing as well. And the lad Kwon and Yang and stuff. I think Big Ange put the ball in motion and moving with those signings. But guys like Phillips and that, mate, they're Brennan's. You can tell they're Brennan signings. They've got Rodgers written on it.
I think the start lineup on Saturday will tell you a lot about where we're going on Tuesday. I think it'll be what to get a kind of settled lineup,
What's your
especially at the
team?
back four
What's
as
your
well.
team? Before we finish up, what's your team?
For both of the games?
No, just for you can't
For
tell me what
Saturday?
team a week Tuesday's going to be.
It'll be pretty similar. What we're playing Saturday to what it'll be on Tuesday. I think he'll want to get a kind of rhythm with especially a settled back line. So I think it'll be Hart, Johnston, Phillips, Scales, Taylor. It'll
You've
be
just, you've just said Scales there, which means
aye.
he's probably going to play in Feyenoord. Ryan's turned his telly off now. He's not even watching
I,
us now.
I wasn't his biggest fans, but honestly, I think Scales will play in front of like a Belky. I've come back on
If
and
you
say
can
I'm
go
wrong.
to Ibrox, if you can go to Ibrox and perform the way he did, then
Uh,
you can, in my opinion, you can go to any stadium.
aye,
Doesn't
and
he? Doesn't he get any more pressure than that?
I think he done really well.
He did.
But if Hatate's fit, I think the midfield picks itself. I think it'll be McGregor, Hatate, and O'Reilly. Uh, then I think it'll be Maida, Kyogo, and I don't think Tilly will be that much fit. I think you'll
Yang.
be waiting a couple of weeks. I think you'll be looking at Yang or kind of mix and match with Palmer coming in between Palmer and Maida, kind of switching wings.
Okay.
But I think if Hatate's fit, I think Hatate should be right into the team. I think it gives you that's something different, that's something special. But I think that kind of right wing with Abada, I think that's the one that's kind of up there. That could throw a wee curveball with who plays because you'll get Tilio, Palmer, Yang.
Yep.
So I think a lot on Saturday will tell you the way we're going to go forward on Tuesday. I think you'll want to get kind of what 95% of the starting 11 will kind of play on Tuesday. You'll want to kind of get that settled so that the team's kind of adjusting and kind of gelling together so that we're going into the Champions League game kind of feeling comfortable and going forward.
Yeah.
But maybe
I,
yourself, what you think?
I, this probably isn't going to go down too well with the fans, but I think the team will be slightly different for that. I do. I'm trying to think with my managers. He don't hear me. I think he'll play Scott Bain in goals. I think it'll be Ralston, Lager Bielka, Scales, and Bernaby. Mate, they kept a clean sheet at Ibrox, mate. So don't shoot them down. Don't shoot them down and now, man. They're on a run. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I think it'll be personally. This is just me personally. I think it will be Hart, who I thought was outstanding at Ibrox, by the way. He's doing this wee thing now where Rodgers has got him playing quicker and thinking a bit faster than what he did under Ange. And I know he used to play fast under Ange, but it was in a different way. Whereas Rodgers has got him now coming for cross balls as well and intercepting, centre forwards getting to the ball, and whether he's punching the ball or grabbing the ball, he's slightly changed that bit of his game. And I've been really impressed with him recently. So I think it'll be Joe Hart. I think it'll be AJ, hands down. I think it will be Lager Bielka, and I think it will be Nat Phillips. I don't think Scales will keep his place. I did say that earlier on, although he deserves to. I just don't think he will. And I think it will be Bernaby that plays at left back, and it won't be Greg Taylor. I think Rodgers sees Alessandro Bernaby maybe getting a run of games soon. I spoke to Ryan about this, and Ryan obviously sees where I'm thinking that. So I think maybe Bernaby will get a start at the weekend. I think the midfield, I think it will be Callum McGregor if he's fit. Obviously, he needs to come through tomorrow first. So I think it'll be McGregor. I think Matt O'Reilly will keep his place, but I think Thiago Holm will play on Saturday, and I think he will start with Palmer out on the left. I think he will start with Yang on the right, and I think it'll be the wee magician, wee Kyogo through the middle. So I think the team will slightly change a bit, but a wee bit more finesse, a wee bit more technical quality there, and a wee bit more in terms of the final third, in terms of that wee bit of cutting edge when teams maybe set up with that low block. I hope up till now Tony Dock's not played a low block yet. I hope that's no his tactic for Saturday, because they do have a couple of exciting players. The lad at left back looks a good player for them as well. I've got a couple of boys in their midfield that can play, and I've watched Indy a couple of times because I knew we were playing them soon, and they like to get the ball down and try and play, and I hope they do that on Saturday. I hope they may. Listen, coming to Celtic Park's a devastating prospect for a lot of teams who maybe don't have the manpower to go up against Celtic 1-for-1, but I just want to see teams set up a wee bit differently and, use it as a cup final and just have a go. Just try and just have a go. Just apart from getting scudded, there's nothing else for you to lose. At the end of the day, you're only going to lose 3 points. And those, for me, Tony Docks and Dundee, these games aren't going to be the games that define their season. So I would like them to come and, show a bit of personality and have a go. And
I don't think they will, but it can change your season if you get scalped to 7-0. It can have a kind of detrimental effect to the players' confidence. I'd be massively surprised if he will kind of set up to have a go. I hope he does. I hope what you're saying spot on. I hope he does, because I would tell them it's Reds, but I can't see many teams turning up at Parkhead this season and playing that way.
I think regardless of what his personnel is, what his tactics are and his strategy, I think Celtic will win comfortably at the weekend. I really do. I think you're talking in the Ilka, maybe 3 or 4. I know I said that against St Johnstone, but I think Celtic going to Ibrox and winning will give that team a big boost as well after being booed off the park against St Johnstone by a section of their support, which I thought was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever saw in my life. I think a few individuals need to have a long, hard look at themselves if that's what they stood at the end of the game and decided to do. Just to interrupt what we're chatting about, something a wee bit more important than that, I've just had a message here from our dear Francis Lester. He says, "Hi boys, sorry I'm late to the pod. I fell in the garden today. I've fractured 2 metatarsals and tore an ankle ligament. Got one of those moon boot on, and it's 6 to 8 weeks. Nightmare, lads. Going to miss a few games." Francis, my deepest condolences to you there, mate. That's a shame. I'm really, really sorry to hear that, mate. I hope you get better soon. And
definitely, Francis.
Maybe you're not the only big Ironside cutting about Glasgow these days, big man, eh? Maybe there's more to the. Maybe it's a food chain of yous that's starting to appear.
It's a trend catching.
We need to start getting used blue badges, man. Honest to God. And I'm not talking about the ones you used to get in Blue Peter either, boys, before he's got any ideas. But no, that's a shame, Francis. I really hope you're back fighting fit soon, mate. Because
definitely.
There's nothing worse, by the way, than being off your feet and not having the use of both legs. Because I had a bad accident myself in the garden, and 15 months before I could even do anything properly. It was a nightmare. I had to go through a big operation in my left ankle. I've got metal work and everything in there now, so I've not been abroad since it happened. So it's going to be fun and games. I think the next time I go to I think one of the subscribers for Ryan's Half 10 show will be waiting on me in a wee room at the side somewhere, and be looking for a wee search somewhere. But it's still early. I can't really get into too much detail about what I'm meaning. Oh well, you've knocked that off then, Francis. He said he's already got a blue badge. So well, at least you've. Well, surely, are you on crutches, Francis? Or have they managed to get you one of the wee Benidorm taxis, as I call them? The wee mobile scooters.
The Matchmobile.
Because surely you wouldn't need to miss.
Crutches.
Surely you wouldn't need to miss the football. Or are you just in that much pain, mate? You reckon you're going to miss a few games through that?
See when I done my hip when I was 21, I went to football and I used to sit kind of row V, and they put me down the front, So they'd moved me down the front because I was on like crutches and that. So they are quite accommodating there. When the last time I was there with that kind of
Yeah,
injury.
no, they are, because I have seen recently. I have seen quite a lot of guys out in crutches and going to football. I know they probably left the day before to get there, but that's
Uh,
probably part and parcel of being a Celtic fan. And right, so we've got that. So Francis can't drive. Okay, so it's your right foot. Um, what? Sorry, I'm just reading a comment here. So, tell the truth, JP, you sat on the manager's feet across the city and you had a lot of needles in your backside. Um, nah, man, it's a half 10 thing you're looking for there, Kevin, if that's the sort of thing you're looking to see um, in your backside. And it's certainly not.
I don't know if he's meaning pins and needles.
I think he
Maybe.
is. I think
Aye.
he is, aye. But no, it's definitely. I'm not one for sitting on my backside, mate. Them that knows me closely will verify that. So definitely no, mate. I tried to be as active as I could, but it was hard. It was really hard. Um, you don't really understand and know until something like that happens how much you really do need the use of both arms or the use of both legs. So, um, but yeah, it was it wasn't nice, and I can empathise and sympathise with Francis because I've been there and it wasn't nice. Um, but we'll need to get a wee, what do you call it? We need to get a wee off chat with us. We'll get a wee group going with the boys with the paraplegic issues and stuff, and we'll call it the blue badge club instead of the blue oyster club. But but no, that brings us to the end of our wee chat tonight. It's good to have been back on, Alan. As I
Aye.
say, man,
Magic.
it's been off on Fridays, kind of uncharted waters. No, I know you are, Kevin. I know that, mate. Um, aye, as I said, a wee bit of uncharted waters. No been on Friday, mate. I didn't really sit well with me. I don't like this being unwell and not feeling the best of yourself or being able to give the best of yourself. But I was in no fit state to even to even talk about football, let alone try and sit here and talk to people about it. So
We
I don't
get
know
peace
how.
and quiet. We get peace and quiet by the voice messages. Oh.
I don't even. Well, that's it as well. I don't even have any voice either, so that was one of the ones as well. But
Even the
again, before
missus
we,
is like, I've not heard JP today. What's going on?
I know your misses are mine.
My missus. If I not heard a message to JP today or what?
see, it's just that's the natural thing is that everybody just misses me. Everybody just
Aye.
absolutely misses me. When I'm not there, people notice. So it's that effect I've got on people. But before we go, I better do the honourable thing. I let people know that, in case you didn't know before, I know most of you will know, but the podcast is now sponsored by AB Entertainment. The AB stands for a Mr. Alec Beveridge. He commented earlier and let the cat out of the bag and gave everybody Alan's new nickname in terms of Big Ironside. So that's your man there. It is a DJ company, folks, for anybody that doesn't know. And the best way to get a hold of Alec is on that telephone number there. It's in the middle of your screens. It's 07845 746 092. That's 07845 746 092. Alex is on Facebook. He's on Instagram as well with the company. But the best way to get a hold of him, folks, is on his WhatsApp. So again, if you or anybody in your family that you can think of has got any big functions coming up, or you would like some sort of entertainment for a party that you may even be throwing for work colleagues or whoever it may be, if it's a special birthday, a wedding, engagement party, a title winning party, a treble winning party, any sort of party you may think of that's coming up, please do not look any further than Mr. Alec Beveridge, because he's not just a DJ, but he's also an entertainment and a very, very enjoyable entertainment for you as well. What I do know, folks, is Alec's diary is filling up pretty quickly. So if anybody wants to get Alec to do your upcoming parties, please get in contact with him ASAP, because his diary is filling up soon. He is now taking Christmas bookings. And as I say, if the best way to get him, though, is to send him a WhatsApp, leave him a message with what you are looking for, and he will get back to you. Trust me, he is a very good guy, very easygoing guy, and he will get back to you. So, yeah, as I say, don't look any further than Mr. AB Entertainment. Also, folks, those of you aren't aware, the Unrestricted View podcast it's got some merchandise on sale at the moment. We have these fantastic mugs. They are printed in vinyl. Those mugs have got a crest on one side and a fantastic logo on the other side, the Celtic Unrestricted View podcast. And they are priced at £5, folks. £5, you're getting quite a lot of detail on the mug there. Really, really cheap. Very cheap. Also, folks, we've got these on sale at the moment. These keyrings, these are priced at £1.50. And again, folks, you've got the YouTube banner. And then on the other side, you've got the YouTube logo, the podcast logo, the Celtic Unrestricted View podcast logo. How to get any of these, folks? All you need to do is give us a quick message on any one of our social media platforms. We are on all the major ones: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Our DMs are open on all, and all you need to do is give us a message. You can also message us on the community section in our YouTube channel, folks. All you need to do is click on our icon. It's the photo of the actual banner that's on the keyring, and you can leave a message on the last post that was put up, and then we can go from there. Folk have reached out to us again about it, so please don't hesitate, guys, to do so. For anybody that is tuning in again on this is your first time tuning in with us, guys, I want to thank you again. Please hit the subscribe button, because again, guys, we value your support, and also it helps us to bring content to you guys as well. We do have some announcements coming up over the next couple of weeks, guys, so please stay tuned for those. Got some guest announcements coming up also, so we have got some really good content coming up in the not too distant future. Kevin, thank you very much, mate, for your comment. He says, see you later, JP and Ironside. So it's good that he's joining in, big man. It's catching very quickly. So again, Kevin, thank you very much. Danny always comes in at the end. I don't know whether he thinks that saving the best will last, but a bit like Ryan's part earlier, it's as flat as the other mob's performance was at the last time we played them at Ibrox. And he says, have you ever tried gammon pakora? I haven't, no, and I'm not any rush to do so in the near future, Danny boy, I'm afraid. But on that note, guys, I will love yous and leave yous. I will be back on Wednesday evening at the time of 8:30. From me, it's a massive hail hail.
And thanks for watching. Hail, hail, guys.
And we will see yous later, guys. Thank you again.